Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Boston Black TV. I'm your host, Mushir, and COO Boston Black. I'm so proud about that title. And I have with us today Marshayla. What's up, Shay?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Excited to have you here. Guys, guess what? She's going to be a part of this interview today, and moving forward, you'll get to see her beautiful skin, her face, and everything Black, bossy, and business. Shay, you ready for this?
I think the audience is really going to enjoy what we have in store in regards to the shifts and the changes. We're definitely going to get into that a little bit later, but today, right now, we are going to talk about a little recap, like where have you been, what's been going on. I know that people want to know what Mushir, brand ambassador, COO of Boston New Black BTNB-TV, what have you been doing? I heard from a little birdie, okay, one of the weeks you were actually in Atlanta for the Juneteenth Festival, and then a memo came across my desk that the following week you were in LA for BET Award weekend. So if you could just catch us up to speed. I know the guys and the girls that are listening really want to know what information you got, who did you meet, what connections did you make? I know some of the stuff is top secret. You can't really share too much with us, right. But for the things that you can share, please, let's dig in.
Okay. Having a brand as amazing as Boston New Black is wonderful because the mission that we stand behind speaks for itself. At Juneteenth, our goal was to expose grassroots. This is about entrepreneurship. This is about helping to grow your business, your brand, and understanding how we could take charge together as a community. The BOSS stands for business owner, operator, shareholder, and supporter. So to be at Juneteenth, they have a booth to meet all the beautiful melanated people that were walking by and to share what we have in store for them. It was amazing. So there were several different business. I may have touched over 1,000 people by just giving them the information, sitting down, having these conversations, letting them become aware of. There's so many issues in our culture that if you're not intentional about understanding why those gaps are there or what those problems are, you just continue to skate through life. So I was able to talk about what's inside of our toolkit and share that and give them an opportunity to get the toolkit for free and to talk about how our platform was designed to help push them further along. So there were, let me see, I wanted to put a list in front of me because I met so many amazing people. One person that I met, and hopefully we can bring him on the podcast and do an interview. His name was Ernest Lewis. He's 21 years old and he's an author. He's written about 14 books, and the content of these books for this kid to be so young was just phenomenal. But he had a booth, he was selling all of his books, he was signing them, but he was actually talking to people about the process in which he had the idea for these books, how he wrote them, how he published them and did self-publishing. It was just amazing.
And you said he was 14?
So he started at 14. And I think he started as a young teenager. He has 14 books and he's 21 years old. And 3 of them are bestsellers. I actually where's his book? It's not in the office. I bought one of his books because I was that impressed. If I can remember, there's a lady, her name is Ty, and she has an online boutique, basically and solely all Instagram. And her followers are tremendous. Her outfit from head to toe was her brand, the stuff that she sells in her store. And it was just amazing because she shared with us the way that she shares her personal life on social media, sharing the ups and downs and ins and outs. And then she rocks her own clothes, how that helped to build her brand and to build her customer base. Made some great connections with some authentic, everyday folks that just taking their dream and learning what they need to know about how to get it to this next level. But they were excited to find out about Boston New Black. They can't wait, and they're anticipating August 15th so they can launch on and see what were some of the steps that they may have missed and what's the information that will take them from where they are now to that next page.
I know that Atlanta is definitely a good place for supporting each other. I know while we were actually there, it actually rained one of the 3 days. And we were a little hesitant. We were kind of like, what's the turnout going to be? The support was there through the rain, through the wind, okay, through the fire, okay. It was They were all there and they were able to come out. People had umbrellas and ponchos, and the idea was that they were there, and it was just a beautiful crowd and sea of brown people with all different skill sets, with all different trades, and it was just really beautiful to see. There were a few times where I just stepped outside of our booth and I was just like, wow, you have to take a step back and take a look at what is in front of you. I think that the pandemic has really created opportunity for so many people, especially in the Black community, to have a little bit of additional funds maybe, or if they had a business, they were able to get assistance with it. So this is a great time, I feel like, especially for us to be launching, because we're really just going to be a tool for you. And I think that's what most of the people in Atlanta were so excited to see. We weren't selling anything. We were giving away everything we had at our booth, but the fact that we are here for them to help grow their business, and we're not really looking for anything in return, just for them to be successful. That's just really amazing. So I guess I hate to stop talking about the festival, but I know everyone wants to hear what went on at the BET Award weekend. I know you went to a few VIP that were like giving roped off, celebrity access only, but because of your personality and your connections, you were actually able to be present and be in the room and promote the brand. So I guess if you could talk a little bit more about that experience and what is to come from that.
So I want to piggyback really quick off of what you said about Juneteenth. One of the most amazing things for me as a people watcher, I saw every different walk of life to see how people express who they are walking past. And to know that each of those people have a dream and a goal and a business. And the difference was in LA, it was the higher level of that, to where people have taken their dreams and their goal, their individuality, the uniqueness of them. They built a brand, and now they're actually in the field growing that and being. So I did go to a couple of, one of the main ones that stood out was the Culture Creator Awards. It was amazing because we all use social media as a platform, but these were brands and individuals who their story, their content went viral, and the mission behind their brand was accepted and awarded by their other peers. And to be in that room, to feel the energy, the grind come into, what was great about Culture Creators, these are everyday people who use social media to share their story and their journey and their mission. Unlike the actual BET Awards, where here are polished, seasoned professionals and entertainers who have teams who mold them and help push their brand to that level. These are individuals who took their own initiative and their grind to research, to show their life and their journey. Something about what they were doing helped them go viral, and now they were able to use that as a platform to shoot them into the stratosphere, and everyone knew who they were, and their mission were able to help people and push them at the same time. So yeah, in that room, my goal wasn't really to meet and rub shoulders with the celebrities, but the real boss people behind the movement, the people who help make sure that once those brands hit a certain level and they go viral, these are the teams that come in to give assistance and to help push to make sure that the integrity and the content of those brands are maintained. So one of the people that I met, and it was a real moment and it was amazing, was George Wells. He is a CFO extraordinaire. Most of you may know him as the guy who gave $1 million to Morehouse. He's a Morehouse alum. He wanted to make sure that he helped out all of these young guys and these young people who were just coming in, transitioning into the real world, and had this huge level of debt. He wanted to try to free that up so their creativity and their goals could be right.
Because I still have the debt. And I remember when he did that, I was like, wait a minute, can I go over to Morehouse? It's that he doesn't even, I don't think he knows what he did for those. I don't think he knows what he did for those students by being able to set them up so early. But that's all I want to say for that. If you got to meet him, I know he's an amazing.
So I met him, I gave him a 5-minute, 3-minute elevator pitch, a rundown of who I am, the brand, our goal. And this is really community development through the vehicle of entrepreneurship. It does not matter what level of life you live on, the level of education. If you don't have a huge business acumen and you have not taken entrepreneurial or business courses, you're doomed, or you're gonna miss something, because there are different little small things you might not find in a quick course or just from word of mouth from somebody telling you. He fell in love. Everyone that I met fell in love with the mission and the brand, formed really great relationships, and I've even been corresponding back and forth. But George was definitely one of the most prominent connections that I made, that I'm most excited about, because he's the CFO and it helps small businesses. So we have the Boss Benefactor portion of our platform, where the goal is to have extremely established advisors or mentors in all of these different fields, where once you're on the platform, you can be a part of that group. And so George Wells, being a CFO, and help small businesses, help large businesses understand the financial side of growing that business. I also was able to speak with Amon. Some people know him as the guy who just signed a multi-million deal with a global marketing company that does the cold coin wallet. So pretty soon you're going to see the cyber cold coin wallet machines in gas stations across the country, so that people who are making money in the cyber world, just like you go to the ATM, you can go to a cold coin machine and get your funds out when you're in the course of your day. This is the guy that took that vision and took that idea and put everything behind the campaign, made it work, and closed the deal. So it was imperative that I have a few moments to speak with him, pick his mind, try to build something in regards to our brand and how we could leverage the knowledge and wisdom that comes from his experiences and his resource background. So I'm actually in the process of trying to cultivate that. But those were the major key players and people on those lines. I won't tell too much or too many more, but just to give an idea for our listeners, if you have the opportunity to be in a room with professionals and entertainers, it's okay to want to talk to the entertainers. These are people who help shape our lives through music and through movies. We see them on the screen, we hear their music, and it's, oh wow, this is this guy or that guy, to have a minute to talk to them. But when you have a business and you have a brand and you have the opportunity to meet people, and what they do is they run the back scene. They cross the T's, they dot the I's, they make the connections. Make sure that you try to make some of those relations. And I did, and it was very exciting. I also had an opportunity to go to Taco Tuesdays at Steve Mackey's house, Stevie Mackey. Wow. When I say, if most of you guys know this guy, he is a phenomenal vocal trainer, songwriter extraordinaire. He's dealt with every celebrity you could name. He's been on a couple of these contested television shows, working with songwriters, and the level of talent that was there was through the roof. Everyone from Dorinda Clark, Ashante Moore, Avery. There were a ton of artists that I didn't know their name, but we're going to know their name, because that's the level of talent. And I use that as an opportunity to network as well. That's what I do. I try to share, I feed off people's energy, and we're beautiful, we're phenomenal, we're resilient, and each one of us has something inside for another person to gain from. And so I use that as an opportunity to share who Boss the New Black is, who we are, what we do, and our mission, and made some connections and relationships there. So there's a lot to come moving forward, because on our platform, yes, it's all about business and entrepreneurship, but our culture is music. Our culture is film, is getting our stories out there, having a representation. And so we can change the narrative of how the world sees us. And that means more stories, authentic stories, so that you can see yourself in the world. And it's just like this podcast, our goal is to let people see what the inside of the platform is: Black excellence in music, in television, in finance, in literature, all of the above. And so it was a great opportunity to share the brand, make some connections, so we can keep pushing the envelope and let you guys know you need to be on Boss the New Black.
Absolutely. So I definitely look forward to hopefully making some leadway with those connections that you made, and hopefully pulling somebody on here. That will be amazing.
Oh, so I forgot. Freeway Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross. No offense, Ross the boss, but I'm talking about the real boss. Freeway
Rick Ross, the rapper, his name from
the real triple OG. He has the Millionaires Club where he works with people in regards to their entrepreneurship, people who are like him, who had to make a life transition and had to learn and adapt. And he used that skill that he had from the street. It was always a skill that he could have flipped, but because of lack of knowledge at the time growing up where he came from, but he used this crazy life situation that happened to him, was able to readjust, transition his mindset, came back out full blast, and is trying to bless the community from a situation that he went through. So he will be interviewed on our podcast. I'm excited about that because that's what for us in our culture, the level, and I use this word all the time and I have to tell people, but the level of transgenerational trauma, the invisible oppression, the things that happen to us, we need examples of how to come up out of that. We need examples of how to take what we say is resilience and take it to a higher level so that we can sustain the things that we build when we learn life lessons. And I think Freeway Rick is an awesome example of that, and I'm excited about bringing him here. But he was one of the main people that I met.
I totally agree with you. I think that his journey and his story definitely aligns with who we are and what we're trying to do. He may have taken a more rough road that really does need some exposure, that needs some light shed on it, because there may be people who maybe they're not in that very situation, but seeing someone who's in a situation, who was in a situation like that, very similar to like how we discussed Dr. Erica Puller last week. You never know someone's story. You never know their situation or their background, unless it's a situation like his, where it was broadcast everywhere. We are going to be transitioning the way our show is actually going to be ran. So I'm actually going to be here more often.
Yay!
To chat and talk. So twice a month, I'm actually going to be doing a segment that's going to highlight some of our small business owners who are just starting. So if that is you and you actually want to have some highlight on our show, you can definitely check below in the description. I'm going to leave our email address so that you can shoot us an email. We want you on the show. And then we're going to have an episode once a month that's actually going to be highlighting and featuring Mushir as our COO and our brand ambassador, who's out there making it happen in the streets with these celebrities. She is going to talk with some of our jewels, okay? Some of our potential maybe boss benefactor interviews. So we want to make sure we have a really good mixture of everyone that we are really trying to reach here, okay? It's not just one person. It's not one image. Boss the New Black is for everyone. Everyone fits the mold here. And last but not least, we're going to try once a month to actually have episodes like this, where it's just the two of us. We're unpacking, we're downloading, we're recharging the BTNB-TV battery to let you guys know what's up next or what's coming. And surprise, surprise, I think this is probably one of the coolest facts ever. That is my mama, y'all.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say the same thing. I was going to say community is everything. Family is everything. And when I wanted to start this podcast, she was the first person that I had in mind, not because she's my daughter, but qualified. And the goal that we need to always have is to lift as we climb. I really love the way that you see the world through a millennial's eyes, which is different than how I see the world. And so for you to be able to actually host and interview some people that are inside of your demographic brings a different perspective than I would, the different type of questions. And it just broadens the scope for our viewers to see what the platform really looks like. So I'm excited to bring you on board. And I always push to make sure that we shine a light on our families, on our communities, and find the value in everyone. I'm glad you guys will be the recipient of the awesomeness of her and how we want to share the fullness of what this platform is to the world. I challenge you to stick with us on Boss the New Black TV. Come on over to the platform August 15th. But as you stay with us and as you share and gain some of the info and insight in this content, you will see for yourself. Boss the New Black is the place to be. This is Marshayla, and we want to make sure that you continue to grow and prosper in everything that is boss. All right? Come on, y'all.
Thank you for tuning in to Boss the New Black, building Black wealth one boss at a time by taking charge together. Make sure you follow us on social media platforms at Boss the New Black and visit our website at bossthenewblack.com to get our free toolkit today.